Well, no worries. Well, thank you again for speaking with me. It's so funny. I got to speak with your husband last year. Now we can do it again this year with your ride. So tell me your ride, your name, and what are we looking at?
So this is a 23 BRZ. I've actually got it on 1.5-inch spacers. It's kind of a funny story how I got into doing Rallycross. I ended up going to a training session with my husband, and we drove his WRX during the training sessions. I just purchased the BRZ about 3 days prior to that. On the way home from the event, we're driving down the highway, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a dog pops up. So here's me trying to slow down as much as possible. Unfortunately, I hit the dog between 30 and 40 miles per hour. Come to a stop, and my front right bumper is kind of crunched up. So we get home after this traumatic incident. Like, I was like so upset.
I think we all would be. And you know what?
So
it's happened to my dad. I mean, it happens to more people than often. But okay, continue. Sorry.
The funny thing is the dog just got up and ran away.
Oh, good.
So
good.
Like,
happy story. Okay, happy ending.
He's okay.
Yes.
Right.
But your car isn't. So let's see what happens.
So it's crunched. So we were like, oh, we have to get it fixed. You know, we're really busy people, so we didn't have a lot of time to work on it. So just this idea started creeping into my head. Well, maybe I should just rally it. And so we never got it fixed. We ended up, he's just like, my husband's just poised to start ordering parts, right? He's like, he's there.
That's the perfect excuse, perfect timing.
Yeah, he's there. He's ready, you know, like, and I had expressed that I felt the WRX was a little too heavy for me to move around the track and everything. And I've typically driven really small cars historically. I decided I'm going to take this one to the track. So he ordered me some spacers. I picked out the louvers. We put some nice parent parts on the engine just for fun. And the rest is kind of history. I just started racing, and actually last July we were in an event where they were giving out some trophies, and I got third somehow.
That is awesome. No, not somehow, because you can already tell from your story and just the way you talk about your car. You have a passion for vehicles and the driving experience and the driving fun for it. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to the original. Why BRZ? Is it because you mentioned you naturally like smaller cars? This is kind of a more unique choice to what the most common hoi polloi, the Toyota Corollas and Honda Civics. Why this car? What kind of spoke to, what did it speak to you about why you chose it?
Well, I've always really enjoyed the lines of this typical sports car. Like, I've had hatchbacks, I've had sedans, I've even had a Miata. Like, just before this car, I had a Miata, and I found, like, the Miata was so perfect because I bought, like, I had a Soul Red Club Edition. Everything was awesome.
Nice.
And I was afraid to touch anything on it because I was like, I'm going to ruin this car if I do anything. So he was heavily into modding his cars, and I was like, I want to do something fun with my car, but I just cannot do it to this Miata.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I've been eyeing this BRZ for, like, actually before we were married. I first saw a BRZ, I think, like in 2018 or so, and I just fell in love with it at that point in time. And so, I've just always loved the BRZ.
Yeah, and I think you said it right. The classic sports car lines, long hood, short trunk, 2 doors. Gotta love it. I think it's definitely wonderful. Now, you said you got the spacers, you got some unique tires on there. Could you kind of tell us, based on your experience, what is it like to take it on gravel, on dirt, especially as a rear-wheel drive platform as opposed to all-wheel drive? What do you kind of notice driving the WRX versus this one?
Well, this one, it's a lot easier to get your rear end out from under you. Like, a lot of times when you're doing a rally course, you really have to drift around the corners. And so for me, I struggled a lot doing, like, the two-footed driving in the WRX, but in the rear wheel drive, I found it a lot easier for me to kick the butt out, so to speak. And it was a lot of fun.
And so, what do you see yourself in the future? Continuing to rally, continue to improve. Are you wanting to go to another level, traveling around the country and doing it in different spots, snow even? What do you continue to use this car for?
Oh, I would love to travel everywhere. I just happen to have a regular job, so I can't get around that much. But yeah, absolutely. If we ever have an opportunity to take this on the snow and do a little rally crossing there, that would be so much fun.
Absolutely. So one last thing, telling people about your kind of venture. This is not autocross. This is rallycross, right? This is gravel, dirt, off-road. What should people kind of expect if they want to go with your route? What are some of the things you've learned and can save some people some pain, time, and money?
Probably just like I've seen people out there with stock cars, and like you just have to let go of that fear that you're gonna hurt your car. Yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of nicks and scrapes and whatnot in the car, but like the actual experience of driving on that track is so much fun. It's just absolutely worth it. And so if you have an opportunity to take your car out to a track, just do it. Even if you're driving Miss Daisy the first couple days, like I absolutely was driving super slow. I was scared out of my mind, and then you just get into your groove, and then it's like awesome.
You slowly build up to it. I think you build that confidence. Yeah, absolutely.
So don't be scared. Just go and try it. It seems really intimidating at first. Like I was shaking like crazy at first, but now I'm like, okay, it's just like I'm just driving down the street, except for I get to have a lot more fun.
Last question. Sorry about that. I always use this one. California wants to transition to electrification in the next 15 to 20 years. What are your thoughts of electric cars and kind of the future of the car culture?
Well, I think there's a place for both kinds of cars.
Look at across from us, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like some of those electric cars are amazing. They're great. I love them. But like for going on a dirt track, you just really want to have a nice manual, gas-powered vehicle to get you through some of those tough turns and ruts in the ground.
The connection to the vehicle, I think, is what we want, especially when we're not on your traditional pavement, for sure.
Exactly.
All right, go ahead and give out your shout-outs. Where can we follow you, and who do you like to thank if they're out there?
So follow me at _darkpics_ on Instagram, and huge shout-out to my husband at turbo_Brandon. He's what got me into the sport. I've always loved cars before, but he said before we got married, he actually asked me, he's like, so do you think you'd ever want to do something like Rallycross? And then he showed me what it was, and I was like, I tried at least once, so here I am. Yeah. I think that's probably why he married me.
That statement right there, right, wasn't enough. Well, I appreciate it. I'll make sure to link your husband's video on it as well. But I'm just going to do a quick walk around. You've been an amazing couple. You've been very friendly, and maybe we'll see each other again next year and the year after that, right?
Great. Thank you.